Okay, the lesson today will be on simple interest. The formula for simple interest, most of the time you see I equals just PRT. But Cambridge uses PRT over 100. And the reason that is because this is typically the type of problem that will be on the no calculator portion of the test. So I'll show you how to work this with no calculator shortly. The I is the interest. The P is the principal or the amount invested. R is the rate. You're going to leave it as a percent. You just drop the percent symbol. T is the time, and it has to be in years.
What if it's like half a year and we put 1/2?
Okay, a special note is this formula gives you interest only. Be careful. You may be asked for the total amount, not just the interest. So if you're asked for the total amount, you must add the interest back to the principal. Okay, now, first what we're going to do without a calculator. All right, here are the instructions. There are two problems. Find the interest and the total amount. Round your answer to the nearest cent. Okay, so the first thing we want to do, after we read the problem, so we've got $800 is invested at 4.25 simple interest for 6 years. Now, what we want to do is we want to label these. So what is the 800? Is it the I, the P, the R, the T?
P.
It's the P, because obviously we're finding the what?
Interest.
The interest or the I. What is the 4.25?
Rate.
Okay. And what is 6 years?
Time.
Time. So you've got I equals 800 times 4.25 times 6 all over 100. Now this will be done, this type of problem could be done on the no calculator portion of your examination. So I'm going to show you exactly how they would expect you to do that. And they don't want you to work out the numerator.
May I have your attention, please? Happy Friday, CMS. I want to announce this week's winners for our drawing. 5th grade is Lainey Briggs. 6th grade, Alanis Cummings. 7th grade, Tate Rogers. And 8th grade, Zaria Patterson. Again, 5th grade, Lainey Briggs. 6th grade, Alanis Cummings. 7th grade, Tate Rogers. 8th grade, Zaria Patterson. Congratulations to our winners. If they could go see Ms. Dodd in the office to get their prizes, we appreciate it. I hope everyone has a great weekend, and we'll see you Monday.
Okay. So rather than working out 800 times 4.25 and then multiplying that by 6 and dividing by 100, what we're going to do is we're going to simplify the 100 and the 800. So what does that simplify to? 8. Now, 8 times 6 is what? 48. So you're gonna multiply 48 by 4.25. Now everybody look up here, because if I had no calculator, I would have to do this by hand. I believe it's 200, no, that's supposed to be a 34. $204. Somebody check me.
That's right.
204. Okay, so the interest gain on this is what?
$204.
$204. So what is the total amount after 6 years?
$1,004.
$1,004. Explain to me how you got to that number.
Because it only gives you
204 plus.
interest.
204 plus
It only gives you interest, so you gotta add it to the.
This formula, when we do compound interest, that will be a little different. That gives you the total amount. This formula only gives interest. So you have to add it back to, you have to add the 800, and you have to add the 204, and that gives you the 1,004. Okay, so let's look at this one. We've got 200 to get the total. It says the total amount. Okay, it wants interest and total amount. So on this one, that's your principal, that's your rate, and your time is 3 years. So y'all go ahead and work that out. And guys, I'm going to tell you, I don't want to see you type in the calculator until you have written down what you are actually typing in the calculator. You don't have to show me how these worked out, but I need to see what you put in the calculator. And so tell me the interest.
$37.50.
Okay. And tell me the total amount.
$287.50.
Okay. Any questions on these two types of problems? Okay. So now, of course, you know if I have a formula, I may have to ask you, I may give you the interest, the principal, the time, and ask for the rate. I may give you the interest, the principal, the rate, and ask for the time. I may give you the interest, the rate, the time, and ask for how much did I invest. Let's look at this one. If I put $1,500 into my savings account and earned $180 of interest at 4%, how long was my money in the bank? Still using the same formula. What is the $1,500? Principal, the 180, the 4%, and what am I looking for? Time. So it's still I equals PRT over 100. So what's my interest?
180.
Okay. My principal is 1,500. My rate is 4. My T, I don't know, all over 100. Now, can anybody tell me what's the first step that I need to do here?
You need to get out 100.
I need to move the 100.
Right.
And how do I move it?
You multiply.
Multiply, because it's dividing. So, guys, anytime you're solving for the P, the R, the T, you're going to multiply by 100 to get rid of it.
It's 18,000.
1,000. Okay, now work out the 1,500
6,000.
times the 4 times the T.
6,000.
And how would I solve for the T?
Divide.
Divide by.
6,000.
And tell me what my T is.
3
3 what?
years.
Years. Remember, my time was always in
Years.
years. Okay, questions on this one? Does that make sense to you? We're rearranging that formula to find other elements. Okay. All right. My final balance after 48 months was $896. If I originally invested $800 into the bank, what was my interest rate? I'll give y'all a minute. What was my interest rate? You need to label your I, your P, your R, your T. Okay, there are two elements of this problem that are in here on purpose to try to see if you caught the possible causes for mistakes. So who can tell me, Nate?
The time was in months instead of years.
That's right, the time was in months instead of years. You would not put 48 months. Let's go back and look. Shh. obviously that caught some of y'all in the trap. Okay, what did I say the time had to be in?
Years.
I don't put these notes up here just so I can write more. There's a reason. All right, so Nate, tell me what that is in years.
For 4 years.
It's 4 years. So that's my T. Okay. What's my I?
96. Yeah.
That was the other tricky point.
No, I just did
It
96.
was- It was not 896, which some of you may have thought. You got a whole lot of interest if you invested $800 and you got $896 of interest. Of course, I know most of y'all are not familiar with checking accounts. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of interest, okay?
That's over 100%.
So, yes, well, over 4 years, so it would be a pretty good investment. So, your interest is just 96. Now, Taylor, would you like to explain how you made that conclusion?
Because like your final balance was $896, and if you started off with $800, then your interest had to be 96.
That's right. So we have to read the problem. We can't just start through looking at numbers and plugging them in. All right, so my time is 4 years, and what is my principal? 800. Okay, so I equals P R, we don't know the R. The time is 4, all divided by 100.
That's not at all how I did it.
Let's see if you got the right answer. Okay, so what's the first thing that I need to do?
Multiply by 100.
Multiply by 100, so that is 9,600 equals
80,000.
800 times 4, which is what?
22.
R, divided by, and so what is my rate?
3%.
3. Is that what you got?
Yeah. Wait,
I got $24 a year.
That's not what I asked for. I asked for the rate. So you did get the amount, which is $24. So that's 3% of the 800. Okay, but I wanted the rate, and so it's 3%. The rate's not just 3. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you now your worksheet for today.